Bird Island is thriving these days. Thanks to its giant slingshot network, getting around the island has never been easier. After saving everyone, Red has become a full-blown celebrity, with his face plastered across posters all over the island. But despite the peace, the old rivalry with Pig Island hasn't completely disappeared. Every now and then, the birds launch crabs, while the pigs fire back with water balloons. It's more of a harmless routine now than a real war, just two former enemies struggling to break old habits. But that fragile peace is about to be tested. Out of nowhere, a gigantic ball of ice comes crashing down onto Pig Island. It clearly wasn't launched by either side, which can only mean one thing: someone else is out there. While Red, Chuck, and Bomb are busy cleaning up the latest crab attack, they receive a letter from Leonard, the Pig King. To everyone's surprise, he's proposing an official truce between Bird Island and Pig Island. Red doesn't buy it for a second. As far as he's concerned, it's just another pig trick waiting to backfire. Then something even stranger happens. Hundreds of balloons begin drifting across Bird Island, each carrying the exact same peace message. The birds couldn't be happier. Finally, the fighting might actually be over. Everyone celebrates, except Red. Deep down, he's terrified. Fighting the pigs is what made him a hero. If there's no enemy left, what happens to him? What if everyone simply moves on and forgets he ever mattered? Chuck and Bomb, meanwhile, couldn't be more excited. As far as they're concerned, peace just means a lot more free time to enjoy life. Determined to cheer him up, they practically drag Red out of the house for some fun. Around the same time, three mischievous hatchlings are busy playing a game, using ordinary rocks as pretend eggs. One of them secretly swaps the rocks with 3 real eggs borrowed from home. It seems harmless at first, until the eggs suddenly roll into the ocean and disappear beneath the waves. The tiny birds have no idea they're about to trigger a completely different adventure of their own. Far beyond both islands lies Eagle Island, where we meet its ruthless leader, Zeta. Living in a frozen wasteland with her daughter Debbie, she's grown sick of the endless snow and brutal cold. Instead of escaping it, she comes up with a far more dangerous solution: take over both Bird Island and Pig Island and turn them into her own tropical paradise. Without wasting any time, she begins preparing for war. Unknown to everyone else, Leonard has already been spying on Eagle Island with his drones, quietly gathering information about Zeta's mysterious operation. Completely unaware of the real danger heading their way, Chuck and Bomb force Red into speed dating. Red tries everything he can to escape, but Chuck grins and says, "I hid your house key. You're not getting it back until you actually finish this." Left with no choice, Red reluctantly sits down. His date turns out to be Silver. She tries making conversation and asks about his life, but Red barely gives her anything to work with. Within minutes, the conversation turns into an argument. "We're just not compatible," Silver says bluntly. Already frustrated, Red gets up and storms out without looking back, convinced it was a complete waste of time. Little does he know, Silver is about to become one of the most important people in his life. Walking home, Red notices his hero posters being replaced with peace banners all over the island. It stings more than he'd expected. If the birds and pigs really make peace, will anyone still need their hero? Lost in thought, he returns home, only to find Leonard knocking at his door. Red still doesn't trust the Pig King, so he immediately ties him up and demands an explanation. Instead of arguing, Leonard reveals a shocking truth. There's a third island called Eagle Island, and its ruthless leader Zeta is preparing to destroy both Bird Island and Pig Island. Red instantly realizes the giant ice ball wasn't an accident. To prove it, Leonard calls in his pig crew, who burst through the roof with surveillance photos of Eagle Island. The only way to stop her is if we work together. Realizing the threat is real, Red agrees. The first step is assembling a team. They recruit Bomb, whose explosive temper is just as dangerous as his name suggests, followed by Chuck, who arrives at incredible speed the moment they call him. Their final stop is Mighty Eagle. Although Red admits he's far from dependable, he's still their only connection to Eagle Island. But the moment they ask him to fly them there, Mighty Eagle suddenly panics, making everyone suspect he knows more about Zeta than he's willing to admit. They still need one final member, a brilliant engineer. Chuck immediately recommends his sister, Silver, the top student at the Avian Institute. When they arrive, Silver is demonstrating a super thread capable of lifting nearly 18,000 kilograms. Unfortunately, no one seems interested, and the audience walks away before she's even finished. Chuck happily greets his sister, but Red and Silver instantly clash again. Red insists she isn't right for the mission, while Silver simply ignores him and starts admiring Leonard's advanced gadgets instead. Flattered, Leonard invites her onto the team despite Red's objections. Just like that, the team is complete. Meanwhile, the three little hatchlings secretly head out to recover their missing eggs before their parents notice. At first, everything goes smoothly, until one of them says, "Whenever something feels this easy, something huge usually goes wrong." Seconds later, a giant whale launches the eggs high above the clouds, turning their simple rescue mission into complete chaos. Back at Mighty Eagle's house, the team gathers to plan their mission. Leonard warns them Eagle Island is filled with danger, while Red explains that Zeta intends to wipe out both islands forever. The moment he mentions her name, Mighty Eagle visibly panics, confirming everyone's suspicion that he has a past with her. Red proposes sneaking onto Eagle Island, infiltrating Zeta's superweapon, and destroying it from the inside. Silver immediately spots the flaw. "What exactly is this weapon?" she asks, "and how are we supposed to destroy it?" Red has no answer. Even Leonard agrees they need a real plan and asks for a map of Eagle Island. Before they can continue, a deafening roar shakes the house. Another massive ice ball is heading straight for them. Everyone rushes for the exit, only to realize they're trapped. Just as everyone thinks they're out of options, Mighty Eagle swoops in and rescues them. Unfortunately, he crashes straight into a mountainside, sending the entire group falling through the air. Thinking fast, Red tells everyone to grab onto the map. It begins tearing apart under the weight, but Silver quickly reinforces it with her super thread, allowing everyone to land safely. Mighty Eagle's house, however, is completely destroyed. Watching from Eagle Island, Zeta is furious. Instead of fleeing in fear, the birds are fighting back. Determined to crush their spirit, she orders her scientists to replace the ice balls with far deadlier flaming ones. Back on Bird Island, the team prepares for its mission. Red assures everyone there's no need to evacuate because he'll protect the island himself, and the birds place their complete trust in him. Leonard then unveils a massive submarine and takes the team to his Piggy Gadget lab, where his chief inventor, Jerry, introduces a series of inventions. They test an invisibility spray, a fire-resistant formula made from pig snot, and an eagle detector, which instantly starts blaring because Mighty Eagle is standing right beside them. Frustrated, Red calls the gadgets useless, but Silver pulls him aside. "You've always been a great leader, but you're not alone anymore. Trust your team." Her words make Red realize he's been dismissing everyone's efforts. He apologizes to Jerry and promises they'll put every gadget to good use. Meanwhile, the three little hatchlings finally recover their eggs and begin heading home, only to learn from a passing pig that they've accidentally arrived on Pig Island instead. Soon, the main team reaches Eagle Island and disguises themselves to sneak inside. While Chuck scouts ahead, their oversized disguise suddenly starts dancing, nearly exposing everyone. Luckily, a group of real eagles joins the dance, keeping their cover intact. While scouting, Chuck spots Red and Silver being captured by guards. He rushes in to help, accidentally tearing apart their disguise. But the dancing keeps the guards distracted long enough for the rest of the team to slip away unnoticed. Red and Silver are frozen solid and brought before Zeta. "This is exactly why we got caught," Silver says. Moments later, Zeta reveals her entire plan. She intends to destroy both Bird Island and Pig Island, then transform the land into her own private paradise. Without another word, she orders the attack to begin. As flaming ice balls launch toward both islands, Red desperately pleads with her to stop. Thousands of innocent birds and pigs live there. Zeta remains unmoved. "I gave all of you plenty of chances to leave. You chose to stay." That's when Red finally understands the truth. The birds never ran because they believed in him. For the first time, he realizes the trust they placed in him is far greater than his fear of being forgotten. Back at his ruined home, Mighty Eagle notices old photos of himself and Zeta, revealing they once shared a past. At the same time, Red finally realizes this entire disaster started because of his own fear. He'd been so desperate to remain everyone's hero that he couldn't imagine a world without an enemy. Meanwhile, Zeta begins the final phase of her plan. She orders a 10-minute countdown, after which both Bird Island and Pig Island will be wiped off the map forever. Silver frees herself using her hair just as Chuck and the others arrive. Bomb blast open a wall, rescuing Red, but with the countdown already running, everyone looks to him for a plan. Instead, Red surprises them. "Right now, we need a real leader." He hands command over to Silver, finally putting his trust in her. Silver quickly explains that the superweapon runs on compressed air, and destroying its pressure system will stop the attack. Bomb handles the guards. Chuck disables the security cameras. Red and Silver dive into the machine, while Leonard, Courtney, and Jerry race to pull a massive lever that will launch them onto the weapon. Everyone splits up. Chuck covers the cameras before the guards notice anything, while Bomb distracts another group by announcing they're getting the day off. Believing it's Zeta's order, the guards immediately start celebrating. Meanwhile, Leonard's team reaches the control room as Zeta learns Red and Silver have escaped. She orders every guard to hunt them down, but by then the two have already climbed to the top of the launcher and leap inside. Just as Leonard reaches the lever, Jerry is knocked unconscious by a stray lava ball. Silver tells Leonard to pull it, but the handle suddenly snaps off with less than a minute remaining. Thinking fast, Red tells Leonard to place the eagle detector where the lever was supposed to activate it. Leonard calls Chuck, who races in and delivers the gadget at the last second. Red and Silver crash straight into the superweapon, but nothing happens. Before they can react, Zeta captures everyone and prepares to launch the fireballs anyway. Then Mighty Eagle steps forward. He begs Zeta to spare everyone else and punish him instead. His sacrifice gives Red one final idea. "We can stop it with your super thread." She immediately understands. Chuck ties the thread around the machine at incredible speed, holding the launcher back just long enough. Furious, Zeta reveals the truth she'd been hiding all along. "Everything I've done was for me and my daughter." Then she shocks everyone. "She's our daughter." She reveals that Debbie is Mighty Eagle's child, whom she'd raised alone after he abandoned them. Enraged, Zeta fires every launcher at once. The super thread holds for a moment, then slowly begins to snap. Just when all hope seems lost, the baby birds and baby pigs rush in together. Pulling with all their strength, they send every flaming ice ball crashing back into Eagle Island. A massive explosion destroys the entire base. Everyone escapes safely. Everyone except Debbie. Believing her daughter has died, Zeta is heartbroken. But moments later, Mighty Eagle appears with Debbie safely in his arms. Overwhelmed with relief, Zeta finally forgives him, bringing the battle to an end. Soon afterward, Mighty Eagle and Zeta reconcile and get married, bringing both islands together to celebrate the union of two former enemies. Everyone cheers for Red as the hero who saved them all. At first, he enjoys the applause, until he notices Silver quietly walking away from the celebration. Red follows her and brings her back, before addressing the crowd. "I'm not the hero," he says. "My team is. None of this would have been possible without them." He thanks every member one by one, before asking Jerry to reveal one final surprise. A statue honoring the entire team, instead of just one hero. "These are the real heroes." The crowd smiles. "And that's exactly why you'll always be our hero." The celebration continues as Red finally realizes he never needed to stand alone to matter. Meanwhile, the three little hatchlings finally recover what they believe are their eggs. But when they hatch, baby anacondas slither out instead of birds. Completely panicked, the hatchlings have no idea what happened. Then someone knocks at the door. It's the mother anaconda, who has come to collect her babies. After realizing the eggs were accidentally swapped, both sides happily exchange the babies, and everyone gets their real family back. The little bird babies happily splash back into the water, and with that, the wild adventure finally comes to a hilarious end.